The playoffs are underway in the ARN Thunder Series with Brad Keselowski getting a nice little jump on the outside. The 12 car of Ryan Blaney is going to go ahead and fall into second in line right now. Keselowski is going to go ahead and lead lap number 1 of the playoffs out here in Vegas under the lights. But Ryan Blaney's not done. Here comes Blaney on the bottom. He's going to go ahead and give the 6 a little bit of a love tap right there in 1 and 2. And he's going to go ahead and take the advantage on the bottom. Down the back straightaway, drag racing into turns 3 and 4. Battle for the second position is on right now here on lap 69. New second place car, give it to Bubba Wallace. Less than 30 laps to go in Las Vegas. Bubba Wallace closing on our leader. You can see he is right there. Here he comes, high side. Ooh, they get a little loose. Down the back straightaway. New leader, Bubba Wallace, takes the lead in Las Vegas. And now, Bubba Wallace will see the white flag presented by Wraith. Bubba Wallace, in the opening round of the 2023 ARN playoffs, will come into Las Vegas. Through a cycle of pit stops, snatch the lead. With fresher tires than our leader, he will lead the most laps out here in Las Vegas, and Bubba Wallace in Sin City under the lights will open the playoffs not only with a victory, but he will lock himself into a Final Four spot. Bubba Wallace wins Las Vegas for his 3rd win of the 2023 season, locking himself into a playoff spot as he will race for a championship. Bubba Wallace holding off Brad Keselowski for the victory. 3rd win of 2023 over Brad Keselowski, with Kyle Busch 3rd. Larson coming home 4th. Ryan Blaney falling to 5th. Kurt Busch 6th. Noah Gragson 7th. John Hunter Nemechek coming home 8th, with Michael McDowell 9th, and Chris Buescher rounding out the top 10.
Somewhere far away awaits your destiny, but you've been led astray, so pave a brand new way. Yeah, guess who's back? Everybody get down. Guess who's back? Yeah, stand up, stand up. Takes my breath away, it pulls me right back. I can't sit back any longer and wait. Guess who is back? I'll stare in the eyes of death. Guess who is back? With fire in every breath. Guess who is back? This light hiding in my chest. Guess who is back? We'll share this life forever. Guess who is back?
It's the ARN Thunder Series Playoff Edition coming at you from the virtual Watkins Glen International in upstate New York. I'm Alan Bailey up in the virtual booth, and today it is round number 2 of the 2023 playoffs. 2 of 5 races, 17th race of the 2023 season, has taken us road course racing for the only road course race in the 5-race playoff here for Watkins Glen. After this, we head out to Bristol next week for a little short track action, Talladega for some super speedway drafting action, then we crown our champ at Auto Club Speedway. One driver has locked himself into the postseason, and that is Bubba Wallace, who picked up the victory last weekend at Las Vegas. You can see Kyle Busch plus 15 to the good, with Kyle Larson 7 to the good, and Noah Gragson 4 to the good at the moment. Right now, a 3-way tie for 4th, with Tyler Reddick, Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick all 4 points out of that final playoff position right there for the Final Four. And you can see William Byron, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, no victories yet so far this season as they continue to look to get on the board here. Second race in the playoffs is underway. Road course racing from Watkins Glen coming at you. Kyle Larson with a really good jump so far. He'll go ahead and take the lead as Wallace falls to third right now, maybe even losing a couple more spots. But for now, hanging out in the top 5. You can see Larson up the hill leading Jimmy Johnson early on here as that HendrickCars.com Chevrolet out front as Larson looks to lock himself into the Final 4, heading into Auto Club. But he leaves that bottom open. Is Johnson going to go ahead and take him here on the outside through the backstretch and the bus stop? Larson continues to lead, but Johnson is hot on his heels through that bus stop. Drivers single filing out right now, but the battle for third starting to heat up. You can see the two 2311 Toyotas starting to get a little racy back here between the 23 and the 32. Kurt Busch playing a little defense right now as he lost a little bit of ground through that last sector. Battle for second is on. You can see Johnson open the door just a little bit. Here comes Bubba Wallace, and Wallace has his hands full with his teammate right now. That's a battle for the third position. And Chris Buescher trying to get a nose in on Kurt Busch as well. Battling all over this racetrack for the top spots. We'll take you on board the second place car of Jimmy Johnson for a little Wraith. Crank it up. Jimmy Johnson right now stalking Larson, our leader. We're going to go ahead and take a moment to tell you about Wraith. Wraith has 200 milligrams of caffeine, amino acids, antioxidants with 0 grams of sugar and less than 6 calories per serving. You can log on to drinkwraith.com and use promo code ALLEN10 at checkout for 10% off your entire online order. Whether that's a starter bundle, one of the many bundles they have, the tubs, or the merchandise, get ready for the winter and go ahead and stock up on Wraith right now. Drinkwraith.com, promo code ALLEN10 at checkout. Join the cult, drink Wraith. Johnson losing a little bit of ground right now to Larson. You can see Larson has moments where he gains a little bit of ground one corner. Johnson will gain it back the next. They're more or less staying with each other right now. Right here through this corner is where Johnson has made ground up the last few laps. You can see heavy braking. Johnson a little bit more aggressive on that corner. Made up a little bit of ground right there, but Larson starting to get away just a little bit here at Watkins Glen. Halfway report coming at you, courtesy of the American Racing Network. Log on to AmericanRacingNetwork.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. You can see Larson running in first, led every lap so far out here in Watkins Glen. Hasn't really pulled away, though. Just kind of maintaining. Clearly that clear air is working for him, but everybody's just kind of stalking him. Larson's been going defensive into the heavy braking zones, guarding that inside line so that nobody can kind of outbrake him. You can see him right here doing the same thing, but he's also breaking up that draft as Wallace is getting closer than any other driver has gotten so far this race. Battle for the lead is on through the bus stop as Wallace started on the pole, fell to third, has worked his way up to second, getting around Johnson for that second position, but passing out here at Watkins Glen has been a little tough for some of these drivers. Larson right now holding on to the lead so far. You can see Bubba Wallace second on the racetrack right now, having a good day so far, comes into this race locked into the Final 4 after winning at Las Vegas last week, something that 5 of Larson is trying to do this week. You can see Johnson coming into this race 4 points out of a Final 4 spot. Johnson looking for an 8th championship, also has a victory this season, looking to add to his impressive resume here in the ARN Thunder Series. Kurt Busch in the number 32, final season in NASCAR competition. Has already announced he's done in the Cup Series and effectively is moving on, unfortunately. But he's out here effectively trying to show that he still has what it takes. He does have a victory this season already. Almost won last week at Las Vegas, his hometown track. But with only a few races remaining in his career, Kurt's looking to go out on top. The 17 of Chris Buescher. Impressive season so far. Won at Sonoma earlier this season, another road course. Looking to do more of the same out here today at Watkins Glen. Running just inside the top 5, hanging out all day, and with green flag pit stops coming up pretty soon, you got to imagine that those RFK boys are going to pull some magic out of their hat. Green flag pit stops underway here at lap 32. You can see Larson leading most of the field down. All but about 3 cars stayed on the have ducked down pit road. Only 2 or 3 staying on the racetrack right here at Watkins Glen International. Buescher is going to go ahead and lead him off of pit road. You can see Bell beating him off as well. A couple of 2-tire stops right there. Wallace falling deep in the field as well. Battle for the lead coming off pit road. McDowell is going to go ahead and race the 17. With McDowell just now coming off pit road, this battle's not done. McDowell will slip to second, but the 17 of Buescher will hold on to that lead. Wow. Chris Buescher leading here at the Glen in the closing laps, takes the lead off pit road. You can see McDowell running a defensive line for second right there, as McDowell will hold on to it for now, but you can see the 20 getting very loose right there off the corner. 17 is simply pulling away. Biggest lead that we've seen out of our leaders so far today, the 17 of Buescher, simply dominating right now, pulling away under green in the closing laps here at the Glen. Chris Buescher will come into Watkins Glen and grab the white flag presented by Wraith. Buescher won at Sonoma earlier this season, comes into Watkins Glen outside the playoff picture, and now grabs the lead here at the Glen on a pit cycle under green. The RFK pit crew simply getting it done on pit road for Chris Buescher and Ford out here at Watkins Glen. Larson started on the front row, led most of the first half of this race. Buescher simply pulling away and dominating here in the latter stages of this race. He's going to definitely shake up the point system, as we will see a non-playoff driver grab a victory out here at the Glen today, meaning that one of those final 4 spots heading into Auto Club Speedway will go to a points earned position not earned by a victory. Larson, the highest finishing playoff driver, third on the racetrack right now, but Chris Buescher with over a 2-second lead over Michael McDowell will come into the Glen and win his second race of 2023 and second at a road course. Chris Buescher wins at the Glen. Massive victory for RFK and this 17 crew. Almost made the almost made the playoffs, I should say, but just barely missed it. And they'll come in here and they will definitely play upset, with most of the playoff drivers finishing outside the top 10. This will shake up the point standings dramatically. Buescher getting the victory over McDowell in second, Larson third, Christopher Bell fourth, Kevin Harvick coming home with the top 5, Joey Logano 6th, Alex Bowman 7th, 8th to Brad Keselowski, his teammate, Ryan Preece coming home 9th, and Noah Gragson, a playoff driver, earning that final points-paying position. On the outside, you have Ross Chastain, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch up to 13th, Kurt Busch 14th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 15th, with Ty Gibbs 16th, Daniel Suarez 17th, Bubba Wallace 18th, Austin Dillon 19th, and Tyler Reddick rounding out your top 20. Want to get you a look at our upcoming schedule? Now, we head to the Bristol Night Race next Monday, then Talladega for a little drafting super speedway action, and finally, we will crown a champ at Auto Club Speedway. No one locked themselves into the Final Four this race. Only 3 of the 10 playoff drivers actually earned points by finishing in the top 10, so this will have massive playoff implications as we head to Bristol and Talladega. Who will lock themselves in after those 2 races? You're going to have to watch it live on kick.com/Hey Alan Bailey every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. right here on Kick. You can also check out the highlights on youtube.com/Hey Alan Bailey. Want to thank you so much for watching. For everyone at iRacing, the American Racing Network, and Watkins Glen, or at least the virtual one, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.